All right, let's go ahead and start with just kind of going right down the factions a little bit. And we'll start with the Finstock Exchange. And we actually have a special guest who is joining us to talk the Finstock Exchange. And that is the Outlaw, Mr. John Rocha.
That's goddamn right you do. Goddamn right you do.
Oh, boy.
That's right. Frank, didn't you just lose to me in a Schmoedown? Get out of here. What do I have to do?
Guys, if you want
You're
You're yelling for the next 15 minutes.
I'll do the stats. 1-0. 1-0. I'll do the stats. 1-0. It's not so hard for you.
Look, John, kid. if your only win is a good point towards me, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
I began the year with a win over you. That's how it starts, son. A winning tradition in 2021.
Okay. I'll take credit for all your success then after this.
Just like a fan needing all the stroke from a star. Listen here. It's a fantastic. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm an outlaw. I'm a rebel this year, so you can suck it. Here's the deal. I'll tell you right now, we got ourselves a hell of an exchange. You know what's funny? Everyone's crowing about the dungeon. It's always it's funny to me. We cut some dead weight off the team. They picked up the dead weight, and everyone's going how everyone's losing their minds about how great of a pickup it is. You know who they picked up? They picked up a guy who choked away 2 title shots in the last round with what you would assume are insurmountable leads. And then they picked up a guy like Dan Merle, who I outplayed in both of our team's matches and got more right consistently. He didn't know our last 2 5-pointers to even give us a shot to contend at the end there. I'm the one that knew the Martin Scorsese answer. I'm the one that knew Terrence Stamp and Young Guns. So there's those things you got to look at here. I think Finstock and I, we had a little conversation in the offseason, and I said to him, we got to cut these guys because they're bringing us down. We need to start over again. We need to have the killer mentality. No more stroking, no more unconfident. Look, they can cut all the great promos they want. And look, I taught my brother Dan Merle about promos, everything he knows about promos now. What you see now is a year with the Outlaw. That's what I can do. So I'm looking forward to the people we bring into the exchange under the tutelage of a 6-time manager of the year in Finstock, JTE coming back, and Craig, one of the up-and-coming future 4-belt stars in this league is Craig the Barbarian. So I'm excited about what we've got coming on in the exchange this year for sure. It's nice to strip it all away and start all over again and rebuild the hunger.
Ooh. Ooh,
yeah, I mean
everything's accurate there. Everything is not wrong.
Thank you very much, Jill. Thank you, Jill. I knew you were a smart one on the show. Brian, what's up your ass? What's going on with you? What's wrong?
Me?
Are you a Bills fan? Is that what it is?
No, God, no.
Fan? Is that what it is?
No, Raiders, unfortunately.
That's even worse.
I know.
So I do want to ask because since free agency, we always expected that you and Barbarian were going to be 2 that kind of lead in the pack for Finstock. But a lot of people have been
not anymore. JTE now it's a 3-headed dragon.
So I wanted to ask because a lot of people on social media and in the community are questioning the decision of bringing JTE in because he hasn't been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there something you can tell us as to why you did it or what he's bringing to the table as a competitor into 2021?
Listen, who is the guy that originated being a heel and defending championships? That's JTE. He was always better than Jeff Snyder on the mic. He was always great at stepping up to the plate in those tag team matches and pulling their butts out of the fire. Go and rewatch their run and see how many times Snyder gave credit to JTE for carrying them through matches in those defenses when Jeff, who we know loves to tank matches, needed a little bit of motivation. For God's sakes, Roxy should get double bill as psychiatrist and manager. She should get double pay for that, the way she handled Snyder through his run to the belts. Congratulations, Jeff. You finally did it without choking. And it's incredible. So we picked up the strongest player of them, and that you combine that with the OG heel of the Outlaw, and you got the Barbarian with Elvis and Finstock, the OG manager heel. What more do you want here, for God's sakes? While Corruption's over there wearing their 99-cent store tiaras, we're out here about to get ready to handle some business. And also people saying over there that Corruption in your chat, in your terrible chat, some people say Corruption's stacked. You got to be kidding me. Kalinowski can't play the Founding Fathers anymore. What the hell is he going to do now, for God's sakes? If it ain't an Inner Geekdom match, the kid chokes away. Chance, that's a good player. I'm not going to deny that. Marisol, I think Kate got absolutely fleeced in that trade, for God's sakes. Shannon was offering us 3 picks for our pick. 3 rounds. She'll deny it now, but she was offering us 3 rounds of picks for that pick because she wanted Marisol so badly. Kate should have held out for more. We'll see how she drafts, though. We'll see how she drafts.
I'm so happy that heel John Rocha is back. Can I
I just
just
answered 7 questions, and I, Jill, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Your job is done here, and that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have anything else to ask after that.
stay here?
I got something to add. Brian Nussbaum, you're an idiot. Brian Nussbaum just said, I had a terrible year last year. Bitch, I was 2 questions away from retaining a belt and fighting for a belt. What have you ever done in your life, son? You had a terrible year last year.
Let's leave the chat out of this.
It's Brian's birthday, Sean. Sean, it's Brian Nussbaum's birthday today.
Oh, is it really? I'm sorry. Happy birthday. Son of a bitch, happy birthday. The Outlaw loves you.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know, have you guys already, I know teams isn't a thing right now, but like, have you already like figured out a team? Because you guys, either way you roll it with those 3 would be a good team, no matter which.
By the way, Jake, I'm looking down. I want to make sure people don't think I'm fucking reading. I'm not fucking reading. Anyway, go ahead, Jake. I look down. I only look at you when I want to look at you. That's how I work. Go ahead.
But have you guys already talked about a team that you think is going to be the one going forward? Because either way you roll it, the 3 of you would be a good team. A great team.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's we've been having those internal discussions already. Yesterday, we had a 2.5-hour meeting breaking down all the rookies, breaking down all the players, looking at all the scenarios that it can go. Because for once, and this is so great, it's so great to be part of a faction that communicates and talks. Already, we're doing better than we did last year because Ben Bateman told nobody what was happening at the draft. That's what caused all the drama. Him and Tom ran off into a corner, made all these decisions without talking to us. Tom learned his lesson. All 3 of us all 4 of us actually were talking yesterday and figure out where we're going to go and what we're going to do for teams and what we think the best situation is going to be. So at this point, we're not ready to announce who the teams are yet. We're going to wait for the draft. And then at the draft, we'll once we get our team together or our crew together, we'll figure out who's in teams and who's in what. That's for sure. So I'm excited. I'm telling you, I'm reinvigorated. And I love it because we have no prima donnas on this team. Just driven, angry mother effers looking to prove something to this league. And I love hungry dogs.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of them in the draft. So
who's that talking to me? Is that Molly Damon? Molly Damon, you haven't been signed yet, right? You're out there to be taken, right?
Yes.
You've dressed up as Dark Ray, right?
Uh-huh.
You know how to be a heel. That's all I'm saying. Plus,
Frank, I gotta shoot it to you next. Do you have anything for John Rocha?
No, I know everything already. So
sure you
I know everything he's already gonna say.
Go put my bags in the plane, Frankie.
You wish.
Did you get a copy of the script that he's reading?
Yeah, let me get a copy of the script right here.
I just opened the bag.
Here's my script right here.
Well, there was one Streamlabs that has come through so far for John, so I do want to get to it. It's Mr. Garth McMurray, and he says, well, if it ain't Rocky Road Rocha, you got some balls showing up here. Keep them away from my face. Who the heck is going to team up? Who the heck is going to team up with you when you're supposed to be riding off into the sunset?
Yeah, that's the rumor, right? I keep hearing that. People already want to throw dirt on the Outlaw. I got 1 more year, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed managing my former brother, Dan Murrell, in his match. I think I did a hell of a job. I don't think anyone could have an issue with how I managed him and completely short-circuited Shannon Barney. It was only because the Coyote outlasted him by 1 extra question that we're not celebrating me being 2-0 as a manager and possibly a manager of the year candidate last year, even though I couldn't qualify because I'm not officially manager, but still I could have done it. Yeah. What was the question again? I don't know. I don't remember. I got lost again. No, it's my last year, possibly. That's for sure. Look, I've been carrying the league on my back for how many seasons now? I am the Conor McGregor of this league without punching people in the face or throwing things at buses. I am the Conor McGregor of this league. I've sold more matches than anybody else in this league. I've won live events. I'm undefeated if you take out the free-for-alls at live events. That's how I do this thing. And so I've left a hell of a legacy. If it's the end, then it's the end. And I think I've paved the way for others to come through. And you've seen some of the other heels who have come after me, and they've all, in their more, how can I say this, in their moments of epiphany, have given due credit to the Outlaw for what they've constructed. So we'll see. We'll see. It depends on how it goes. If I have another terrible year, as quote unquote terrible year, then maybe it is time to hang up the Spurs.
We don't want to hear that talk right now, John. The year just started. I don't want to hear any of that talk right now, sir.
Frank does. He hates it.
I mean, I can't wait till you retire. I cannot wait.
Yeah. How much more boring will this league be?
Not that much, but a little.
Hello, I'm Adam Collins. Hello, I do things and I win matches. Get the fuck out.
I mean, you could just beat him, and then then you could.
Hey, no one's beat him apparently, Frankie. Why don't you take a shot? Why don't you shoot your mouth off? Why don't you get in the ring with him?
I might as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be no different than anybody else who played him, I guess.
We'll all do better than you.
We'll have all that in common, yeah.
Please.
I did want to pull this up real quick just because it made me laugh from Mr. Alex Stamen. Rocha finally jumped to Star Wars and trade that hat for a Mando helmet.
Alex, this is a possibility. This also came up. I'm not supposed to be smiling. Alex, it's a possibility. We discussed it yesterday. We discussed it amongst yesterday the possibility of me finally throwing my helmet in the ring for Star Wars. I think depending on when the tournament happens, I think it's a possibility, especially now that they're not adding, which they were rumored to be adding the Clone Wars stuff or adding Rebels stuff or whatever. Since they're not adding it, I already, and no lie, I watched 4 of the Star Wars movies this weekend just to kind of see where I was at and see how much studying I'd need to do. There's only so many movies, Damon, and I've got a hell of a brain that retains a lot of shit. So if I start going down, can I cuss on the show?
Yes, you can.
If I start going down everything, trust me on this. You think Mara can make notes? Please, I can make notes like crazy, and I'll be ready. And hopefully, I'll get a shot at getting in the ring and getting in the tournament. I'd love to. I mean, all bets are off this year for the Outlaw, and all bets are off this year for the Finstock Exchange. So we're going to have some fun. We're playing fast and loose. No pressure. Nobody believes in us. Nobody thinks we can bring it. We're underdogs. So we're playing with house money all year. It's going to be fun.
I can't wait to tell Sean. He's been trying to get you in the Star Wars League for how long now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't need no 60 days, right? You don't need none of that.
No, you need more. I mean, that was ridiculous, 60 days. It takes longer than that. You got to respect that. I mean, Molly has had years with this thing, and she has trouble. Laura Kelly has had years with this thing, and she has trouble. I mean, we've seen Alex. We saw Ace stumble at the final round there in the match, and Ace lives and breathes this thing, and he stumbles. So you just never know. But certainly 60 days is a bit of an insult. But what would you expect from Bateman other than disrespect?
I mean, I know, Molly, you've said start the 60-day clock. Sean said start the 60-day clock, but we're still talking about it. So maybe he'll put.
I sure do. I sure do.
That was
All right.
6 years ago.
Okay, so one more Streamlabs has come through for the Outlaw here, and it's from Stirring the Tea. And he or she says, so the great John Outlaw Rocha, what do you think of Frank Janis listing Jake the Wall Berlin -- on the draft board late December, saying Jake the Wall Berlin could be better than the Outlaw?
Did that happen?
Frank's been trying to find the next Outlaw for 5 years now, but it's never happened and never will happen. Wake me up when that kid wins 4 belts, then maybe. But you know what? Anybody who would be the next me, that's an honor. Frank didn't intend it that way, but for someone to say that means I've left a legacy in this game. So someone to say I'm the next, the next Michael Jordan, the next LeBron James, the next Joe Montana, the next Tom Brady, that means you've achieved excellence in whatever field you've chosen to commit yourself to in competitive competition. Certainly I've done that. So Frank unknowingly gave me a compliment, which is probably tearing him up inside.
All right. Well, does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Rocha before we let him out of here?
How great does it feel to be back on the heel side of things?
Well, did I ever really leave?
I was going to say, yeah.
What we've done, though, is what I've done is shed the weight of this idea of trying to be kind of good and trying to be, like, oh, I see how Dan does it. I see how much the fans love him. You know how liberating it is to not give a shit what the fans think anymore, to not care about stroking their hands or popping their zits or giving them advice on Dungeons and Dragons. I don't care anymore. All I care about is winning.
Great game, sir. Dungeons
It's so boring. I don't even know how many die. How many sides are on this die? That makes no sense. What's your kill shot? I don't know how. It's ridiculous. What did you roll? All that stuff is nerdy shit. It's so great to shed it all now. I don't have to kiss anyone's ass anymore. I just have to play the games, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't have to be your favorite player anymore. I don't have to be. In fact, if a shirt comes out this year with the Outlaw, and it's probably coming out the real GOAT, because that's who I am, the real GOAT, not boring Dan Murrell. I am the real GOAT of this league. I built this goddamn. Do you see a documentary on Dan Murrell? I don't. I sure as hell don't. Only 2 documentaries, me and JTE. That's right. And now we're on the same team together. If I get a shirt, don't buy my shirt. Don't wear my shirt. Don't come around me wearing that thing. I will rip it off you like Hulk Hogan rips his Hulkamania shirts. I will leave you standing there half naked with your belly out at a live event. So don't you dare wear my shirt. Don't you buy it. If you buy it, I swear to God, I will. Figuratively, not literally.
That's an interesting marketing strategy, I gotta say.
Keep it down, Dark Ray. You keep it down.
Well, John, I got to say thank you for popping in for a little bit, man. I know that it was short-lived, but we're happy to have you here on POV. This is the second time so far you've popped in and yelled at us, and we really enjoy it. So you are welcome back.
Yeah.
You guys are my favorite. You guys are one of my favorite shows to watch and listen to.
Oh, you said favorite first. We all heard it.
I'm moving the Ultimate Schmoedown show to my channel, so I can't say it. But what I can say is I respect all your points of views. I think you have a great, fun show, and it's great to have a player, because that's what matters when you have an actual player doing commentary, doing their ideas, doing analysis. That's the difference between this show and something like the Schmoedown Rundown, which I wipe my butt with, for God's sakes, because neither one of them have never been in a ring. And I like that Molly's been in a ring. It gives a whole new perspective, so I trust you all's analysis of everything. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming.
All right, I gotta go.
Frank looks like he has you on mute right now. He hasn't.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Look at him. The same wall he's had for 7 years. All right. I got to get out of here and go kick some puppies. I love you.
Oh, my God. What the hell?
Oh.
All right. Well, with that.
Hi, Frankie.
Oh, good Lord.
How you doing, Frank?
Frankie, you
I'm
can come
great.
back now.
I'm great. I watched 2 episodes of Ted Lasso during all of that.
I was about to say, you look pretty calm during all that.
Yeah.
Like he's just got Netflix on in the corner. He's
Yeah,
like, I'm just gonna
yeah.
let this guy yell for a little bit. I'll be back.
I know what it's all about. Yeah, I know what it's all about these days. Yeah.